You ever notice how the harder you try to keep someone close, the faster they seem to slip away? It's almost like love runs from desperation. Like the more you chase, the less they value being caught. That's the painful truth most men learn the hard way. We think that showing more care, more effort, more love will finally make her stay. But often it does the opposite, because love isn't built on chasing, it's built on respect. And respect only grows when you have the strength to walk away. There comes a moment in every man's life, a quiet moment, when he's tired of proving his worth. He's tired of explaining his heart to someone who never really listens. He's tired of chasing someone who looks happier being chased than being with him. That's the moment something changes inside him. That's the moment he stops caring. And ironically, that's the moment she starts to see him differently. Because when you stop caring, you stop begging for attention. You stop giving your power away. You stop living for her approval and start living for your own peace. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about actually not needing her validation anymore. You start realizing your worth doesn't depend on how much she loves you. It depends on how deeply you respect yourself. When a man detaches from the need to please, he becomes magnetic. His silence speaks louder than his words ever did. His calmness feels like control. And his distance? It becomes the mirror that shows her everything she lost. See, women feel attraction to strength, not arrogance, but emotional stability. When you stop reacting to every small thing, when you're not desperate to fix what's broken, you create mystery again. You become the man she once admired, calm, composed, and untouchable. That's when she starts wondering, what changed? Why isn't he trying anymore? Did he move on? Did he stop loving me? And those thoughts start eating her up, because for the first time, you're not predictable. You're not always available. You're not constantly explaining yourself. You're busy rebuilding your life. You're hitting the gym. You're chasing your dreams. You're finding your purpose. And in that silence, she starts to remember the man she first fell for. The one who had direction, confidence, and drive. That's the paradox of love. The moment you stop chasing is the moment they start noticing your absence. You stop caring, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. And that energy is powerful, because it tells her you have something she doesn't: peace. Peace is rare. Most people are addicted to chaos. So when you become the man who stays calm, she'll feel that difference like a shock. And deep down, she'll crave it. She'll start doing the things you used to do. She'll text first. She'll ask questions. She'll try to get closer. Because suddenly, she realizes the balance has shifted. You're no longer orbiting around her. She's starting to orbit around you. That's not manipulation. That's nature. The energy of detachment creates gravity. And real men, grounded men, understand that. But here's the twist. The moment you stop caring shouldn't be a trick to get her back. It should be the start of something greater, a version of you that no longer depends on anyone to feel whole. You see, when you stop caring, you make space for clarity. You start seeing who she truly is, and who you've become trying to love her. You realize how much of yourself you lost, and how much you're about to gain back. It's not her loss anymore. It's your rebirth. That's when your world starts to change. Your confidence returns. Your eyes regain that quiet fire, and suddenly, she's not the center of your story. You are. That's when she feels the shift. She feels your energy move away, your focus turn inward, your presence fade, and what she once took for granted starts haunting her. Because when a man truly stops caring, he doesn't announce it. He just disappears into his purpose. Now let's be honest, most men never reach this point easily. We cling, we fight, we beg for closure, we think love can be convinced or reasoned into staying. But the truth, real love doesn't need convincing. It flows naturally. And if she had to be chased, it was never secure to begin with. You see, the real test of a man's strength isn't how hard he fights to keep her. It's how gracefully he lets her go. When you stop caring, you're not becoming cold or emotionless. You're simply choosing peace over chaos. You're deciding that your mind deserves rest, that your heart deserves better, that your energy shouldn't be wasted on proving something that should have been felt. That's not weakness, that's power. Because control isn't about domination. It's about discipline. It's about saying, I could chase, but I choose not to. I could beg, but I choose to build. I could explain, but I choose silence. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you reclaim your throne as a man. And that's when life starts aligning in ways you never expected. You attract peace. You attract purpose. You attract women who see your value without you having to prove it. Because the moment you stop caring about the wrong one, you start attracting the right one. The man who no longer chases is the man who finally becomes free. Free from the opinions, free from the guilt, free from the endless need for approval. And that freedom? That's what makes you truly attractive. When she sees you smiling again, genuinely happy, not pretending, she'll feel that in her bones. She'll realize she wasn't your reason to live. You were your own reason all along. That's the kind of realization that shakes people, because nothing scares someone more than seeing you thrive without them. So don't wait for her to see your worth. See it yourself. Stand tall again. Move like a man who knows his direction. Speak less, mean more, and never trade your peace for anyone's attention. Because the moment you stop caring, truly stop, you take your power back. You stop being a passenger in someone else's story and start driving your own. Let her wonder. Let her feel the silence. Let her see what it feels like to lose a man who was willing to give everything until he realized his value wasn't meant to be proven. When you stop caring, you become the calm in the storm. You become the man who doesn't need to be loved to feel worthy. And that's when she'll start to love you the way you always wanted. Not because you begged for it, but because you became someone worth loving again. So remember this, you don't win her back by chasing, you win yourself back by walking away. Because sometimes the most powerful thing a man can say is nothing at all. Just silence, peace, and purpose. That's when everything, including her, comes back on its own. There comes a point in every man's life when he stops asking why. He stops asking why she changed, why the love faded, why the effort wasn't enough. And instead, he starts asking himself a better question. What now? That's the shift. That's when a boy becomes a man. Because a boy chases answers, but a man creates direction. When you stop caring, you stop fighting battles that were never yours to win. You start realizing that love isn't meant to drain you, it's meant to grow you. You understand that you were never losing her, you were finding yourself. You stop trying to rewrite the story and start writing a new one. And the irony of it all is this. The moment you stop needing her, that's when she finally starts seeing you. Not the version who begged, who bent, who broke himself to please her, but the version who rose from the silence. The man who learned that peace is louder than any argument and distance speaks clearer than words ever could. She'll remember the sound of your calm. She'll feel the weight of your absence. And maybe she'll realize that your love wasn't something she could replace. But by then, you'll be long past the need for her recognition. Because when you stop caring, you start healing. You start building a life that doesn't revolve around her moods or her choices. You start loving yourself the way you once loved her, completely, endlessly, without hesitation. That's the secret, brother. When you stop chasing, the world starts moving toward you. Opportunities open. Peace returns. You laugh again. And it's real this time. Because you finally understand that the most powerful form of love is not the love you give someone else. It's the love you refuse to stop giving yourself. You learn that walking away isn't weakness. It's the highest form of strength. It means you cared deeply, but not blindly. It means you gave your all, and when it wasn't enough, you had the courage to let go. It means you've learned that your heart isn't a bargaining chip. It's your crown. So hold your head high. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. You don't need her to understand what she lost. Because the truth is, you didn't lose anything. You simply outgrew the version of you that thought love was something to chase. Now you walk in silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because you finally have peace that words can't explain. You've stopped caring about being loved the wrong way. And that's when real love, the kind that feels easy, mutual, and deep, finally finds its way to you. So don't wait for her to come back. Don't wait for her to change. Change yourself. And when you do, you'll realize something powerful. You never needed her to love you. You just needed to love yourself enough to stop caring.